Imagine a calm Sunday evening, where everything seems peaceful, and suddenly, the police receive a chilling phone call. A woman's frantic voice screams, "My son shot my boyfriend." This is the story of Clark Anderson, a 22-year-old man who pulled the trigger on his mother's boyfriend. But why? Was it an act of self-defense? Or is there more to this shocking tale? Today, we'll dive deep into every twist and turn of this sensational case. June 7, 2020, Dallas, Georgia. The police received an emergency call from a woman claiming her son, Clark Anderson, had shot her boyfriend, Kevin M. When officers arrived at the scene, they found Clark and his mother sitting on the stairs outside their home. Clark's hands were covered in blood. As soon as the police approached, Clark confessed without hesitation, "I shot my mother's boyfriend." But this wasn't just a random act of violence. What led Clark to take such a drastic step? Was it a spur-of-the-moment decision? Or was there a sinister story hidden beneath? When police took Clark into custody and began questioning him, he opened up about his troubled life. Clark revealed that his childhood was far from ordinary. He was raised by his grandparents because his mother was serving time in prison. His grandfather, he said, was a strict and abusive man, leaving little room for happiness in his early years. When his mother returned from prison, Clark hoped for a fresh start and a stable family life. But that hope was short-lived. Kevin M., his mother's boyfriend, entered their lives. According to Clark, Kevin was nothing short of a tyrant. Clark described how Kevin frequently verbally abused his mother and mentally tormented her. He also alleged that Kevin occasionally directed his anger toward him, physically and emotionally. Despite Clark's attempts to protect his mother, the situation only grew worse over time. On the fateful night of June 7th, Clark overheard Kevin and his mother in a heated argument. But this wasn't just a typical domestic dispute. Clark stated that Kevin was intoxicated and began yelling at his mother, using slurs and making threats. Clark said he could no longer stand by as Kevin escalated the situation. When Clark confronted Kevin, things took a darker turn. According to Clark, Kevin became increasingly aggressive and even threatened to harm him. Fearing for his and his mother's safety, Clark grabbed a gun that was stored in the house. Clark claimed that Kevin lunged toward him, and in that moment of panic, he pulled the trigger. Back at the police station, Clark appeared remorseful yet adamant that he had acted to protect his mother. He described Kevin's controlling and abusive behavior in detail, portraying him as a man who had made their lives unbearable. During the interrogation, Clark broke down several times, recounting the traumatic events leading up to that night. He shared how he had felt trapped, unable to escape the toxic environment that Kevin had created. Authorities also examined Clark's psychological state. Was he genuinely acting in defense of his mother, or was there something more complex behind his actions? Did years of suppressed emotions finally erupt, leading him to commit this irreversible act? Clark's case is now in court. His defense team argues that the shooting was a clear act of self-defense. They claim Clark was pushed to his limit after years of enduring Kevin's abuse and watching his mother suffer. However, Kevin's family sees things differently. They have accused Clark of premeditated murder, arguing that he acted out of rage rather than necessity. As the trial progresses, emotions run high. Witnesses from both sides present conflicting accounts of Kevin's character. The prosecution paints him as a victim, while the defense portrays him as a monster who terrorized Clark and his mother. The courtroom holds its breath as the jury deliberates. Will Clark be found innocent and justified in his actions, or will he face the consequences of taking the law into his own hands? And so, the story leaves us with many unanswered questions. What would you have done in Clark's situation? Was he justified in his actions? Or should he have found another way to deal with Kevin? Was Kevin truly as cruel as Clark described? Or is there more to this story that we'll never know? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe Clark deserves sympathy? Or should he be held accountable for his actions? If you found this story thought-provoking, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We'll be back soon with another gripping story. Thank you for watching.